yeah. Let me do it. You wanna talk about it? We gon' talk about it. You wanna talk about it? That Hollywood of the South. We gon' talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. We gon' talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. We gon' talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. Hollywood. Let me do it. WCEG, Hollywood of the South. We gon' talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. We gon' talk about it. That Hollywood of the South.
You're listening to the new WCEG Network on WCEGTalkRadio.com or watch us live on your smart TV, YouTube at WCEG Network. I am Wardell Richardson, your host for the next 2 hours on WCEGWOOD Hollywood of the South. We're your worldwide community empowerment group where we speak life into the community. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at WCEG_talk_radio. That's WCEG_talk_radio or WCEG Network. That's WCEG Network. Join the conversation. Call in or Skype us at 678-619-1402. That's 678-619-1402. Ask your questions, make comments, or voice your concerns right here on WCEG Wood, Hollywood of the South, at 678-619-1402. The topics and opinion are those of the show hosts and guests and not those of WCEG Network. Thank you for your continued support. Once again, my name is Wardell Richardson, actor, producer, director here in Atlanta, host of WCEG Wood Hollywood of the South. Thank you for joining us again today. It's a beautiful day outside. The coronavirus isn't a beautiful thing, but it's a beautiful day outside. So I want to first give my respects to everyone that has lost someone because of this illness that's going around. And everyone that has it, our blessings are with you. Hope that you get out of that you heal from it. It is a deadly disease that's going around, or a virus that's going around. And it has killed several people. So please keep yourself sanitized, wipe your hands. Be aware of the people that are around you. If you see anybody sneezing constantly, doing just looking like they're sick, dry mouth, definitely tell them to go get checked. Drink plenty of water. That's the number one thing they said. Drink plenty of water, and you should be okay. So on that note, I want to get into some upcoming events. I will be involved or hosting the ITEE's Annual Youth Excellence Awards 2020. It will be April 19th. It's a formal attire at the Porter Sanford Performing Arts Center, 3181 Rainbow Drive, Decatur, Georgia, 30034. Red carpet is from 3 to 4 p.m. You can get your tickets at eventbrite.com /ITEE's Annual Youth Excellence Awards 2020. Now, if you missed this last year, you missed an awesome event. This event is where we honor kids in every category of the spectrum, from singing, rapping, to sports. We have some people that are preachers. We have millionaire kids that have their own businesses. We honor a whole spectrum of different kids, and the greatest thing that I remember from last year was the kids saying that this was the greatest day of their lives. So they get driven there in a limo, they get red carpet treatment, they're just stars the whole day. And we honor them in front of an audience, a full audience at the Porter Sanford. So I will be hosting that event again this year. I had so much fun. I am a clown with the kids. So if you want to come see this, please go and get your tickets now. They are selling. They're selling pretty quick now, because the closer we get to it, they start selling kind of quick. It's eventbrite.com, ITEE's Annual Youth Excellence Awards 2020. The Alijo Entertainment Works present The Naked Truth. What happens when fantasy collides with reality and the lines become blurred? The Naked Truth focuses on a collection of 7 original characters intricately woven together to create one compelling story of the journey from trials to triumph. You will laugh, you will cry, you will reflect, and you will relate. This one-woman show will leave you wanting more. Get your tickets now at www.naked-truth.eventbrite.com. That's www.naked-truth.eventbrite.com. It will be April the 4th, 2020 at 7 p.m. at the ATL Entertainment Studios, 800 Wendell Court, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia 30336, starring Tamika Tiller, written by Trez Tiller, directed by Donald Gray, executive produced by Alice Adam Johnson. I had them in studio some weeks ago. They had us in here on the floor laughing. It's a husband and wife team. So shout out to Tamika and Trez Tiller. Together they put together some of the best stage plays I have ever seen. And their stage plays involve the audience majority of the time. The one play that I went to see recently was Screams of Passion, which is a horror stage play. It was a very interesting concept. I never saw it pulled off like that. And they are just an imaginary, they just have a unique system. They are definitely a great team. And if you missed out on their show, you can catch this one here. Tamika Tiller is a one-woman show. So this one woman is playing several characters in this show. So please go get your tickets as soon as possible. They are selling at www.naked-truth.eventbrite.com. Now, on that note, we have another play coming up, and it's been a plethora of plays going on, and I had the pleasure of going to see several plays recently. Some were really good. Some were really good. That's all I can say. Some were really good. And I liked it, but what I love is that Atlanta is a very creative state. There are a lot of great actors here, a lot of great directors, a lot of great producers, and a stage play is probably one of the hardest things to do in this industry. And I always tell people, if you want to be an actor, do theater first. Because if you can do theater, TV is a piece of cake. And trust and believe it is. When I first got in this business, I was doing stage plays for the first 3.5 years, just back-to-back stage plays all the time. And I learned a lot from doing that. It strengthened me. And when I got to TV, I'm like, this it? You mean I can cut and start over? Because you can't do that in theater. Once you hit that stage, it's over. So there's no cut. There's no starting over. There's no do this again. And so I have a great admiration for theater. I have a great admiration for the people who do theater, because it's not something easy to do. And we have a new play coming up. But before we get to the play, I'm going to introduce to you our guest in studio. We have one of the actresses in the play, Harralyn Rawls. How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. We have the co-director and writer, William Billy Dixon.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing pretty good today.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And we got TC. Now, TC Bell was one of the ones that was also coming into studio. She was not able to be here. She's a nurse. She had to work, so she is not able to come. But in her place, we have the husband to Harralyn Rawls, Mr. James Rawls in the building.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Yes, sir.
He never sitting there chilling like, what's up, man? What's going on? So I'm going to start with you, Harralyn. Give us a little bit about yourself. Where you from, how you got to where you are today.
Okay, my name is Harralyn Rawls. A lot of people know me as Harralyn Swinger Rawls.
Oh, why Swinger? Now, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know you done heard some people stop me and say, what? Swinger?
That is birth name.
Okay.
Okay, so no, we ain't swinging. We ain't popping. We
I'm
ain't
just
open.
messing with you. But I know that stop people in their tracks sometimes.
I cannot use my birth name on Facebook because without a birth certificate. They think I'm part of some kind of group, and I'm like, no, yeah. I am a native Atlantean.
Okay.
I am not a Grady baby. I am an Emory baby.
All right then.
So yes, and so we're a little bit bougie. Yes, we are.
Yeah, see, I'm Pete Mott.
Oh yeah, you a little bougie
I'm
too.
a little bougie
Okay.
too. I'm a little bougie too.
And I am a survivor of human trafficking, domestic violence, sexual assault, childhood assault, and a bunch of other stuff.
Wow.
I am also an advocate. I am a professional speaker. I am an educator. And my life is centered around helping others. And so my little acting job, I done got somebody that slid me into acting, give me a chance to kind of...
Like you don't like it.
I love it. It kind of give me a chance to
so
say what I want to say, but I can't say.
So
and be yourself.
Is this the first time you ever done anything acting?
No, I've been in like church plays. When I say church plays, I mean church plays. When I say church plays. But these are not regular church plays. These are kind of almost like professional kind of, you gon' act like you got some sense and you gonna learn your lines and you gonna go through fire.
Okay, so it's a real, so basically you saying this is a real deal play. This is not just a little church play you do and be like.
So when y'all see me get my Emmy, my Grammy, you know, when y'all, okay, I'm sorry. Ain't got there yet. But I enjoy it. I really do. The director, of course, is amazing. And it gives me a chance to.
Before we get too deep in that.
Okay.
So you said you've been through sex trafficking.
Lord Jesus.
So the first thing I like to say, you know, you're definitely a strong woman to be here today. So to get through all of that and be here and to be able to, you know, talk to us and do, I mean, when you talk about any of that, does that still bring back some, like, do it make you feel some kind of way, or have you, you know, because I always wonder how people feel after they go through such a tragedy.
It depends on what I share. If I would share my full journey, you know, I never do it when my husband's not around because he prays me in and prays me out.
Okay.
I tell people, anytime you open up that wound, you can't leave yourself open.
Okay.
I had a friend who committed suicide after she wrote her book. And she was an advocate. Actually, she's one of the ones who helped me start.
Really? And
so she committed suicide. So it can be a journey, but I don't feel any kind of way when I speak, because I speak for to hopefully keep somebody else from going through what I went through.
Gotcha.
You know, a lot of people do not know the truth of sex trafficking. Most of the victims go home every day. A lot of people think you're looking for a white van. No, they look like the preacher, they look like the doctor, the lawyer, the person next door to you, they like your neighbor sit beside. They look like normal people.
Right.
And the reality is, human trafficking in Atlanta is more so coming from the other side of 285 than inside of 285.
Yeah.
So when I was in it, he was my boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah. And he was a big wig in the government. Let me put it like that. Yes, I have a semi-gag order, so something I can't talk about him. But we were. The crazy part about it is his thing was luring us with money. It was 15 girls, and we got into it because he had a modeling agency. And so the crazy part was,
so he used a modeling agency as the
yes, and they still do it. They still do the same mess, and so. His thing was, you know, he my boyfriend, I got all the latest Gucci, this and that. And I would tell my friends, girl, I can't remember what happened that night. He done rocked my world. Well, no, he was drugging us. And he would sell us. So this particular guy who knew me, because he would put masks on our face. I guess the guy, my mask came off and he recognized me. He was a buyer. And he offered him, it was either $15,000 just for me for that night. And gave it to him, and he helped me get away from him for the moment.
Wow! So he recognized you from somewhere. Do you know where he recognized you?
Yeah, he was my neighbor.
Really?
Yeah. And he was like...
Well, that has to be kind of crazy because if he's your neighbor and he's buying...
Mm-hmm. And he was like, okay, this can't happen. So he helped me get away from the guy for the moment. But me being me, I'm going to check him. You ain't going to do this to me. What? And I checked him. So he decided to threaten he knew my whole family, went to church with me, everything. And he decided to threaten me with a bomb behind my mom's house.
All right.
So yeah, it was a journey. And I ended up having to become a recruiter to save my family's life. And end up in the nightclub as a dancer. And then I became addicted to lifestyle.
Right.
Once he went to jail, he didn't go to jail for us.
He went to jail for something totally
different. And when the news hit, he died at home from a heart attack. No, honey, he was in jail. So, and I tell people, guilty people don't go to prison. People who ain't got no money go to prison. You got a lot of folks guilty that's still walking around free. So, it was a journey, and now I was bitter for years, but I had to forgive myself for being bitter, and I became self-destructive.
Gotcha.
I became suicidal. I became angry. I became abusive to other people. And when my husband got with me, I was even verbally abusive to him. Oh, I was mean. Oh, gosh. I was fighting in church. I was angry. Right. But so now I thank God for the opportunity to go around and help others and educate others on the reality of trafficking. We ain't looking for no white man, honey.
Yeah, they made that a big thing at one time, but it's definitely a lot more to that whole thing than what they say. It's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on out there. I did a show not too long ago talking about sex trafficking. In fact, we did a show last year about sex trafficking, and we were threatened on the show. Like, literally, they called in, and a guy called in and threatened us on the show.
I believe it. And
that's when I knew, I said, okay. They even watching the shows that we do.
Yeah, they have to watch the show because they have to stay. They have to stay in front of it. And like the guy, his boys are still in the office. His friends are still in the office. His cronies and they pray to God. I don't never call their name. Oh, they pray to God. But a lot of my whole thing is a lot of them have been brought to light. And I tell people ask, why don't women or victims say something? Look at R. Kelly's situation. Them women were totally bashed. So why would you say anything and you already know they're not going to believe you in the first place?
Right.
Because to a man, to the society, a man doing it, oh, you're supposed to do, But if a woman was attracted to her, she's a dog.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a. But I go through my moments.
Your moments, yeah.
Yeah, but for the most part, I just thank God for the.
We got a call. This is Wardell on WCEGWOOD Hollywood and South. May I ask who's calling? Hello?
I was just calling to see if you were going to talk about the Big Brunch, the play.
Yes, we are. We're going to get to that here in a little bit.
Okay. I was just wondering if you're going to give any information about the Big Brunch.
We are. May I ask who's calling?
They're trying to listen to themselves. Tell them to stop trying.
PK.
Can you not listen to yourself? Turn your. Can you just turn it down and talk to me? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, my name is TK.
Okay, TK. How you know about the Big Brunch?
I'm actually,
How you know?
Advertisement.
Listen to herself.
I heard an advertisement about the Big Brunch.
Okay. Well, we're going to be talking about it shortly. Thank you for calling in. We're going to talk about it on the second half of the show.
The second half of the show.
Yeah,
okay,
so just stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about it.
We stay tuned. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so Harralyn, we're gonna go over into like people want to know about the Big Brunch. So, Mr. Dixon,
yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
Not much. How's it going today?
Not much. Give us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my story is not quite as interesting as hers, right? Well, I'm a Grady baby, so I'm not bougie.
Oh.
I'm bougetto.
Look here, Grady is the best when it comes to trauma. They have the best trauma ward in the country, I think it is.
They do.
Yes. I'm part of like 6 generations from here, from Atlanta, on my mom's side.
Okay.
I grew up here. I did go to APS. Went to Brown High School, which is now Brown Middle School. Went to Mo Brown. I played in the band there on scholarship and academic scholarship. Classically trained in music as far as singing and as far as playing 3 different instruments. I was in the marching band at Morris Brown, and I've been total theater all my life. But what happened to me was that, and by the way, this is natural gray. I was born premature gray. It runs in the family, yeah, and I was fully gray at 19. So then I got called by one of my school teachers about modeling when I was a sophomore in college. And so I took off and I started doing that for a while. A lot of people don't know. I looked totally different then. I had dreadlocks down past my kneecaps, and I was on the runway and everything.
I happened to do some research on you.
Yeah.
And I saw the pictures. I saw the pictures. I saw the pictures. Yeah, you were cut, man. You were cut. I saw the pictures.
Yeah, I was fit model for quite a few people. Back then, that was when all the groups were coming out, like Escape, TLC, and all of that. And I was a fit model for Dre 3000 for Mama's Boys, Leon. So at the time, we was about the same size and everything. He's a cool person. I went from there to I retired in the modeling industry, and I always knew I liked theater. So by me being classically trained, I decided to start taking some of my poetry and some of my songwriting and start writing stories, telling about different things. And most of the time, my stories are about, they're fact, research. The first play I did was 20 years ago. It was called Sisterella, and my grandma passed a month after that, and she told me to keep going. And so my mom just passed in November of last year, and she was my biggest fan at every rehearsal, everything that I did. And what happened was, since I joined the church at First Iconium Baptist Church with the greatest pastor in the world, Reverend Timothy McDonald.
Hello.
Yeah.
And the best first lady in the world, she's in all of my plays. Her name is Shirley McDonald.
Okay.
He asked me to do a Black History play because I did a play there one time. And I said, well, okay, I'll just try, because the other person had stopped going there. And I did it. The first one I did there was 10 years ago. It was called The Potluck, Last Potluck. It's about the Egyptian and Nubian queens in the Bible. So I did a lot of research on it. And what they do is their dish is telling how they became queens. And a lot of people didn't know they became queens by, they was married to a lot of these people. Like Zipporah was married to Moses. Okay. And she was over the Black Cushites. And we have Nefertiti, we have Cleopatra, we have Asenath, which a lot of people don't know about, the Queen of Sheba, and these women range from the age of 18 all the way up to Miss Ruth is right at 80.
So this was your first play?
Just the first play I did. After that, I did this first one in the church, and it has grown and gotten bigger since then. Most of my plays, we have the greatest singers, the best actors, and of course, by me being in the modeling industry, I made sure that the stage and what they're wearing is detailed to a T.
Okay.
Exactly. And so the music is not just all gospel, which I like about my pastor. The music in it fits their character. They sing anything all the way from jazz to opera to gospel, everything.
Okay.
It's
so
really
it's
good.
a musical?
It's a musical.
Okay.
And what they're doing is there's these sisters who are thinking about going to heaven to see these queens that nobody never seen before. Because he had asked me to do a Black History play. He's big on that, but I was tired of seeing these Black History plays about us being in slavery.
Yeah.
I said, we've done some great stuff in the past too. We were once before kings and queens and everything.
Right.
A lot of people think that people in the Bible, blonde hair, blue-eyed and everything. So I was like trying to show them, if you're from down here, you don't have blonde hair and blue.
Right.
So I did a lot of research, and this year we decided to come back up with something new. It's time for the men, because the women been successful, and it's called The Big Brunch. it's parody and the opposite of what the females do.
Gotcha.
It's about the kings in the Bible and the Nubian kings and Egyptian kings in the Bible. And this one here, I'm actually in myself, so I asked TC Bell to help me direct it.
Gotcha.
And so,
what made you choose her?
Well, she's like a little sister to me. She saw one of my plays and fell in love with it.
Okay.
And so she's been under my coattail like this the whole time.
Gotcha.
And so she was interested, and we make a good team. As a matter of fact, I never thought about writing with someone, but on this project, she's been with me, and she's been helping me out a lot, especially with what we're going through. Like Harralyn, myself, and her, we lost one of our parents in between, less than 10 months apart. She lost her father, Harralyn, then TC lost her father, and I lost my mom. This is all new, same year. So we're kind of bonding, and we're doing a lot of great things and stuff. And I'm the youngest of 8 kids. Okay. What else is that? And my sister helped manage me, which is a very hard thing to do because sometimes she still think I'm her little brother, and I have to tell her, no, this is business, and so we go back and forth, and eventually I win, I get my way, And so, basically, I think that kind of sums it up in a nutshell for everything that's going on here.
What got you started? Because you wrote this, right? Mm-hmm. Where does your idea come from? Where do your ideas come from?
I think about everyday life. I think about people. I study people a lot, and then I just go out and I kind of start trying to write something that's different that nobody heard about or seen before. And I want it to be kind of fact, but also something. It's imaginary too. Like, say for instance, Martin Luther King never sung, but the person who plays him is gonna eventually sing, but he's singing something that relates to Martin Luther King's life.
Gotcha.
And so I just wanna, I just like to take things to a different level because my company is called Fantasy Production, and it's about the fantasy of everything that goes on, the illusion of different things, and also the truth. And what comes up with that truth is that is people get educated on what's going on. And so I like to do a lot of research. I'm pretty much so a nerd. Okay. I'm proud to say that. So
I don't think because my son, my oldest son is a nerd. That dude is a nerd.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
He's just smart. I told him a long time ago. I said I had no problem with that because
See, all my brothers are about your size. They're like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". It's 4 of us, and their birthdays are all the same. And so I'm the last one. Everybody's like a year apart, and there's like 3-4 years between.
Their birthdays are all the same.
Yeah, their birthday August 1st, 3rd, and 4th.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm January 31st.
So you just totally different.
Yeah, and here I am 5'10", and they like 6'4". So my mom was like, I don't need you to get hurt, so she wouldn't let me play sports. So I had to do all this other stuff. Yeah, so that's what happened.
Okay.
Sweet.
So you're a writer and you co-directed this.
I usually direct it, but this year I needed help because of what I'm going through with my mom's situation and stuff. And she was a good person to help me direct. And she wanted to get the experience. So we co-directing.
And so this is a musical, you said?
It's a musical, pretty much so.
Okay. And are the songs all original, or did you write them? Or?
No. I like to, this is the one thing a lot of people might say. I like to use some cover tunes because of the simple fact that it's relatable. A lot of people hear this music and they can relate to it. And we have original music as well. We have a person named Sayan Bun who basically direct music and write and everything. And he's he's a good songwriter.
Okay. I'm gonna get deep. We're gonna get deeper into the big brunch here. Okay. A little bit after the break. Mr. James Rawls.
Yes, sir.
So you are in here, man. I know you not involved with the play and everything, but I do want to. Oh, he is involved. Oh, what you play the organ?
He do a lot of sound effects and he was behind the scenes.
So you are involved with the play.
Driving me crazy. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Where you from? How you got here?
I'm 56 years old, Detroit, Michigan, born and raised.
Look, you gonna be the oddballer. Everybody sitting at this table. All these.
That's right.
Atlanta, Georgia.
I got to represent the D, man. I'm sorry.
The alien.
let's move.
Right.
I've been a minister for about 15 years now. 16 years. Okay, thank you. One of the co-ministers or pastors there at First Iconium Baptist Church under Reverend Timothy McDonald. And one of the greatest pastors there is. I've learned a lot from that man. Honestly, I have. I have been down the road of domestic violence myself, and I didn't know that I was going down that path until I got with my wife, and she explained some things. I'm like, wait a minute, some things are kind of familiar to me, and my path was more verbal than physical, and a lot of times verbal could be more hurtful than physical can be. So I've chose to try to organize
words hit harder than the fist.
Exactly.
Lord, yes.
I chose to try to get men together to talk about it and to do something, take action about it, because looking at CDC, 6 out of 10 men are involved into a domestic violence situation, but you don't hear about that.
Right.
We don't talk about it.
Right.
So therefore, we don't get
I have
the
been
help.
there.
we don't get the help that the women do, because women are more boisterous on it than the men are.
Right.
And it's a struggle to try to get the men together to talk about it. Not just that, but just talk about things that's going on in our community as far as a black man goes. Family issues, job issues.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's hard for men?
Our pride.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's our pride. We're too prideful. Until we learn how to break down the pride and come out of that, we'll never get nowhere. Not as a unit. We won't. I find now, and I was telling my wife the other day, that I find that more women are getting together and doing more bonding and doing more things than the men do. And it's kind of jealous.
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad you brought that up, because I sat there one night, I said, man, you do a men's trip or something. Like,
right.
Women always get to go do stuff.
Exactly.
Why can't men get together and go do, like,
exactly.
You see it sometimes like on TV, like on a movie or something.
Right.
But I have never been on a men's trip with just all guys. Like, you know, and I've always wanted to do that. So we're going to have to put something together, man.
Listen, I would like to even do nothing but go fishing. I love fishing.
Fishing
I want one of my ultimate bucket lists is to go deep sea fishing. I would love to do that. Drive down to Florida.
See, I have an uncle who does that. He used to rent. He used to go with it was a whole group of guys. They go and out on this boat and just deep sea fish. And they be out there for like 2 days. You know, come back the next day or whatever. That later on, and with all these huge, humongous fish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He said, I can't go.
Freshwater fish.
No, that's a man's trip.
I like to fish too.
she said a lie. He said, I can't go.
She'll fish, but she won't put the worm on the hook. She won't do none of that.
You just
That's nasty.
cut yourself from the trip. Like that.
It's just decoration.
Right.
You be the one putting a little fake fish on the trip. A little fake worm on it.
That's right. So that's where I'm at. You know, that's basically how I am.
So how would how did you wind up getting to Atlanta from up north?
Tell them what happened.
The first time I was here in Atlanta.
Cause you told me this story before. I want you to say it on the air.
Well, the first time I was here in Atlanta was about in 2006, 2008. I moved here I had left Detroit and went to Knoxville, Tennessee. And we left Knoxville and came here to Atlanta. It was on me then to make Atlanta my home. I had to go back to 2008 and take care of my dad. He had Alzheimer's and dementia and prostate cancer. My mom couldn't handle him by herself. So I ended up going back and taking care of him. 9/11, 2013, he passed away. So after that, I moved back here. And the reason we moved back here, her doctor told me if I didn't get her out of the city of Detroit or out of the state of Michigan, she was going to be dead within a couple of weeks. And that was because of her health. She had already had thyroid cancer, and she was facing fibromyalgia, vertigo, ran. I said it was a whole lot of things.
So she couldn't get the help she needed up there, or
well, it was the cold air, the cold weather that was really affecting her.
Okay.
And with that help, when that is her autoimmune system was breaking her down. And she has lupus also. So a lot of things that was going on with her, because of her having lupus was hiding the actual issues that was going on with her. And that's what lupus does.
Yeah.
So they really couldn't find things that they were looking for because of the lupus. So when I brought her here, she started getting better. And got her over to Emory, and they started doing different things. So she's doing a lot better now. We're still fighting health-wise. We're still fighting, but she's doing a little bit better than she was in Michigan.
Okay. But how did she get involved? Don't try to skip that, buddy. Because when I first asked you how you get down here, you smiled and looked over at her and then pointed at her. And then you just told the story and asked her completely out. Did y'all see that? Am I the only one that saw what just happened?
Go and tell them how you bamboozled me and stalked me.
You don't want to tell how
back in 2002, I've known my wife basically all her life. I never knew that we would ever get married or anything like that.
Because I ain't like him.
Right. I had picked with her when we were smaller. When she was small, I used to pick with her, you know. So one day I got with her and I said, listen, let's make a date.
No, that's not what you said.
I want to take her out.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. I knew it was about to happen. I knew it was going to happen.
God told you my wife. And I was like, no, God didn't tell you because I was like, now you can take
So what I did was, you know, in Detroit, you can drive anywhere in Detroit, 15 minutes, you at the water.
Okay.
That's one thing I loved about Detroit. And so we had this, we have a place there called the Detroit River. It's at Belle Isle. And that's where I drove to. And we sat there and talked. I picked her up at her house.
Wait, so you was in Detroit at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she lived in Detroit for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where y'all met in Detroit.
That's where we started dating.
Okay.
And I picked her up this particular night, I say about 9 or 10 o'clock that night. And I was at the water and I was just talking. And before I knew it was like 5 o'clock the next morning, I took her home.
No,
I'm trying to be nice about
this.
Tell what you did.
He is like really dodging parts of this story.
I ain't want to hear nothing he had to say because I'm like, go ahead and tell what you did.
She gonna call you out on it, so you might well not skip over
in the midst
this.
of talking to her, I like, well, let me fix your seatbelt. And I reached over, fixed her seatbelt.
And then
I kissed her.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, you're my attention.
Okay, so you played the seatbelt role.
But then tell them what happened on Tuesday. After that, just go ahead, tell them what happened.
The Tuesday after that, it was church night. And we went to church that particular night, and I act like I didn't even know her.
What? Why did you do that?
Don't bait and hook. You ain't heard of that, man?
No. Dude, that's the old kick you out there, kick you away kind of move right now.
The whole service.
That's the bait and hook.
I didn't even know her, so what I did was...
Wait, hold on. You went through... Wait.
The whole service.
Let me revamp what you just said. You sat with this woman all night long till 5 in the morning.
Yes, sir. Yes,
then
sir.
the seatbelt moved.
Yes, sir.
Kissed her.
Yes, sir.
And then the next day, well, not next, well, it was probably
2
2 days later, you had like you didn't know her.
Right. Right.
Wouldn't look my way, wouldn't answer my text, nothing.
What?
I'm like...
I had to basically, for myself, see where she was at.
No.
I knew.
That's how you see where she was at?
I had to see where she was at.
No, I don't know.
Mama was talking to me, and he was trying to get out the door. I said, no, hold on a minute. And I went outside. I was like, for real, that's what we finna do? And he was like, no. So then Thursday came. Tell him what you did on Thursday.
Boy, she don't forget that, do she?
I told her I was going to pick her up Nick, too.
What happened on Thursday?
I told her I was going to pick her up from her apartment. The first time I picked her up from her mother's house. I knew where she lived at her mother's house. But I told her I'd pick her up from her apartment. She said, okay. She never gave me the address.
Stalker.
But you found her.
I found her.
See, he tried to
player.
No, he told me, I'm coming to your house. We're going to get something to eat. I was like, okay, don't be late, because I was an auditor for the school board. And so I'm like, okay, I got an audit in the morning. Don't be late. He did not show up at 9 o'clock.
What time he show up?
He showed up at 10 o'clock. But I did not give him my address. I never gave it to him. I called my mama. Mama said no. So he found my address. I told him I live across the street from McDonald's. That's it. He found my address. So I went to the window.
Wait, hold on. So how did you find her address?
I knew she lived in Taylor. I knew the area very well. I knew she lived in Taylor. She told me she lived across from the McDonald's. My mind started thinking, I was like, okay, there's several McDonald's, but where's the apartment complex? Where's the condo complex at? And the only one I knew was off of this particular street. What was the name of the street? Eureka Road. I went there. I said, okay, it's got to be one of these 3 complexes. But I went to one exactly across the street from the McDonald's. I went in and drove through the complex.
But how did you find her house? Because there are other houses.
She had her mother's car. And her mother's car was parked there. I'm like, okay, now I found the car.
Right.
I found the car. I said, now I'm narrowing it down to, okay,
boy, you honestly like, dude, how did you pull it down?
But he came to and my thing was, I'm timely.
You paid attention to detail, though. Oh, yeah. That's good.
I'm timely, so I went to the window. I was like, what? He was like, hey. I said, hey, what you want? Can I come in? I was like, okay. Walk from the window. I'm like, yes. And he came in, and that has been, I'm trying to tell y'all, I didn't like him because he was a player. Mm-hmm. I thought he was a player because he had these women, and they went, and I was like,
and he was an older player too, right? He had been watching you since you were. He
would tell me he gonna marry people just to see my reaction. I didn't care. He would do stuff. Cause the thing was, I didn't like him because when I was 16 years old, I remember going to Atlanta, coming back. I had my baby. I had a baby. He told me in front of everybody, "You went to Atlanta, ugly duckling, and God brought you back a beautiful swan."
You said that out loud in front of everybody.
Yeah. We had choir rehearsal, man.
And choir rehearsal.
Yeah.
He would tease me, and I was like, and our birthday the same day. Exactly the same day. I hated him. I was like, I'll never marry you. And then when he became a preacher, I was like, oh no. I told everybody to marry no preacher. So, oh no. I cried his first sermon. I sat the whole time in the sermon like, I was like, oh, this is a horrible mess. But yeah, he was stalking me to be his wife, so we dated.
Well,
as you can see, I didn't have to stalk too hard.
Hey, I was about to say, even though his actions were kind of weird, he still happened to get you.
Well, yeah. But we had a surprise wedding.
Okay.
So we got up and announced we get married and got married the very next week. And we had to announce it in church. So everybody was like, oh, the church was packed when they had a wedding because people had bets we were not going to make it. There were bets in the church that we were not going to make it the year.
Are you kidding me? The people
that were one name.
Yeah.
And it was a whole row of women that didn't speak to me for 3 years.
Are you serious?
I'm like, were you dating him? He was like, no. And there was a bunch of men who would speak to him. No one knew we was dating. Our parents found out 3 days before we got married. Yeah. Oh no, before we got married.
Wait, nobody knew y'all was dating?
No, it wasn't even their business. We was like, it's our business. And he asked me to marry him on the way to a funeral. I'm so serious.
Man, your timing is something else.
What is it?
We were on the way to a funeral and he asked me to marry him. I'm like, aren't we grieving? He's like, so we gonna get married or what? I was like, what? I said, we want to do this. He was like, next week. What? 2 weeks later, we were married. And we've been married almost 18 years.
Wow, man, this is hilarious. I'm just saying, because I remember we all went out to dinner one time and y'all told the story And I was just dying. I'll never forget. Y'all had me dying laughing so hard. I didn't know what to do. Yeah. because he was the same way. He kept missing points.
Yes, I'm like, tell a story.
And she kept calling you out.
You
like
a stalker.
I'm like, dude, you gonna do this on air? Like, really?
Right.
You know what she gonna do?
You a stalker.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Anybody that know my wife, she's gonna do that. She's gonna call you out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I love them to death. I really to life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when was it that you really? Cause you said you ain't like him at first, right?
No, I didn't.
So
that
when
means
was
she did
it?
like him.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, right.
And I knew
because
that.
you want me to tell you how I know that? Because every time she said he came, she'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
That's how I knew you.
Well, no, I mean he was cute. We were friends. But I
got friends, but they don't be like, yes.
When we got the water, I ain't want to hear nothing he had to say because I'm like, it's a bunch of mess, blah, blah, blah. He's still talking to mess, same good dude talking. But I will say, when we first got together, I was like, okay, he ain't gonna be right. But he proved himself. I mean, he was there for me beyond. I can be myself with him.
Right.
And I don't have to be nobody fake.
Mm.
He know I'm crazy. He know I'm saying what I gotta say. And I had to ask God to help me out because I would cuss him out so quick. The devil was excited and God was mad. So I had to learn that calm myself. I was angry. I was bitter.
Right.
And I remember, and I still say, Tyler Perry, if you're watching this, you owe some money. He told me I'm gonna love you past your pain. And I said that's not possible. And he did. Yeah. No, he gets on my nerves a lot. Pretty much every day. But because he's annoying. Ain't he annoying?
Very much so.
Oh my God. Everywhere we go.
He said that so fast.
The hospital, the doctor, everybody. Henry has in my file.
He said that so fast. You're like, I'm not going to say no.
Henry has in my file that no matter what happens to Mrs. Rawls, he is not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. So if she's in ICU, he in ICU with her. And that's how I had two major strokes. I've been in hospice before, and he's been there. I've been in and out of the hospice twice. Had 2 major strokes, 100% debilitated. He literally had to stop working to take care of me.
So when did you know that he was the one? Like, because you said you didn't like him at first. What was it? At what time or what point did you?
I had to have surgery while we was dating. And my surgery went totally kaput. And he stayed right there with me through the whole process. When I say the whole thing, he made sure my kids was tight. He wouldn't cook for my mama. I'm like, you ain't dating her. Why she gotta have some spaghetti? But he was there and he helped me, and I was like, wow, who is?
You are such a female, boy. She like,
that ain't you. And so, get them some McDonald's. Why you get them spaghetti? But my sister eating and stuff like that. I was like, no. It's my boo now, you know.
She said now.
I started warming up to him. I'm like, okay. And he just was there. He was there. And I was like, I don't know what the moment was. Probably, I don't know.
You just said it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was it.
You've been liking him.
Yeah.
No, I was not.
I didn't think that for folks, and I made him spaghetti, but I still got dog.
Whatever. My first marriage, we were friends. He wouldn't come to my wedding.
Wow.
And we found out over the years, both of us have a past, a checkered past. And he has been in the street life. I've been in street life. We found out we were with the same people, just doing different stuff.
Really?
Literally, the same people.
Because y'all was in the same area, though.
Yeah.
I was a dope dealer's girl.
And you?
Was the
I
dope
was the one that's hanging around with dope dealers.
He was the driver.
I was the driver. They would rent the limousines. I would drive them around.
Really?
And
a lot of times she would be in the back of the limousine. I would never know.
They wouldn't let you see
They
who the
would
girl
raise the
was.
partition up, and you can't see what's going on in the back of the limousine. Yeah. And she was back there all the
And
time.
I was telling him one day, I had this situation. He was like, this dude. I was like, yeah, how you know him? And come to find out that one of his clients was my boyfriend, and another client was my best friend.
What?
And we ran in the same circles. I was dope dealer's girl. I was dope dealer. I was the.
Whenever these guys,
y'all gotta do a book, a movie, or something. This is a whole movie right here.
Yeah, I write nonfiction, so I'm ready for you.
Yeah,
we did a play.
You just need to sit down with them and just write.
But we did a play, and we wanted to do it in first. I couldn't go talk to you about it. But the
What's
problem
the name of
was,
it takes a fool to love something.
But the problem was when we did the play, he almost got stabbed in church for real.
What?
Because the way the play starts off is with him coming in and like us normal, like hey, and he started yelling at me in front of everybody. No one knows the play has actually started. So we're walking in like we normally do, and he started yelling at me because I won't do something, and then
church is full.
The church is packed, and he hit me, like fake hit me, and I'm on the ground. Them deacons were pulling out knives and guns, my mother going in their purse, and we had to stop the place and say, hey, it's a joke. The reaction was like, wow. And the message was, a lot of preachers' wives, a lot of people in church, a lot of people, that the message is real. It's in the church.
Right.
A lot of preachers' wives get beat before the husband even go out and preach.
Right.
Like the play you was in last year.
Right.
I wrote a play called Church Folks. That was the first play she was in with me, and it's similar to her story.
Yeah.
Very much so. Musical.
Wow.
And so he was abusive in the play, and then his son, our son was gangster coming in there, and people was like, oh my God. People was shocked because they had guns in the church, with fake guns, liquor bottles, and the thing was,
we're trying to make them realize the reality of real life goes on. Yeah. And a lot of people that go to church, they think life is, I guess you say, a play thing. They don't realize that, especially the older people, they don't realize that this stuff actually goes on. But this play actually made them feel it. Just like when she was walking down the aisle, I took it and hit my hand like that, but you never, the way I did it,
and
you
I
never could tell.
It was like boom.
And it sounded like I actually smacked her.
And these deacons were jumping up, they were drawing guns. We had to stop and say, hey, wait, whoa. Whoa. And they didn't expect it because the way we started it, we didn't have an intro. That was the intro.
Oh, all right.
Then we wrote another play that I did, but I rewrote this play, and I'm a playwriter too.
She does not read that.
She didn't even say it right.
Called Glory Train.
She said, I'm a playwriter too.
And that play is where it's almost like the big brunch in a sense, but the mentality is everybody is so bougie. It's showing that you can't, like the first lady, she's the first lady because she got the big hat on. It's like 8 people in the play. And then this one little lady come up and she trying to get a seat. She can't get a seat because she not good enough to everybody. But at the end of the day, Jesus put everybody else off the train and she's the only one left. So yeah. But then, I ain't no Tyler Perry, no Wardell Richardson, no Billy Dixon, but watch out, y'all. But we didn't want to do our domestic violence play, and the whole message at the end of the day was, no matter what you're battling with, whether it's drugs, whether it's whatever, we had the prostitutes, everything. If you come to Christ as you are, He can heal your sins. He'll heal you, no matter what the situation is.
Right.
It ain't too late.
Never too late. Yeah. You have to tell people that because some people feel like it is. And that's when they decide to take their life and things like that. So
we gonna be coming up too.
That's good.
So the first play that you did was, what was the play you did last year?
Last year I did the Church Folks for Black History.
Okay.
It was about because I've seen this in churches, especially mine too as well. Fortunately, back in the past, where they didn't respect females in the church or female ministers. A lot of times the deacons and everybody, they wouldn't come to church, or either they didn't think that women should be on the
I definitely heard about that or read about that.
Exactly, and so it was based on that a little bit, and also domestic violence, and also about PTSD, and how the first lady was probably like royalty because she come from all the money, but yet and still they looked over her. She had PhD and everything, and chose her older husband, who was her dad's best friend.
So in your writing and stuff, do you get it from experience or get it from stories you hear? Or
experience and also stories that I hear. I take heed to everything. Like I could be sitting down here. You may see a story about
like that story
Wardell radio show.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, I study people.
Right.
And then sometimes I just take it and turn it into stories. And a lot of times I like to do a lot of research. Like I said, I'm always in the books. So I do a lot of research and find out things that a lot of people don't know about. And I want to bring it to life in a way that people can relate to it. Like say for instance, I have this play called His Soulful Resurrection. It's about the life, the birth, and the death of Jesus Christ. And the good part about it is that it's a little bit Afrocentric. You know, most of it is dashikis, dreadlocks, and all that kind of stuff. And and the music has a soulful twist to it. Okay. And basically, I kind of like to tell a story, but I like to put a twist to it and some entertainment to it. Okay. And even though it be well researched, I like for people to relate to it.
Are your plays comedy?
Everything.
Everything.
She'll tell you she's playing one of the sisters in the play for the big brunch.
Okay.
Because I had
we're gonna talk about that after the break. I was gonna talk more about get deeper into the big brunch. That's why I wanted to hold that. But I was just asking the question: was it comedy? Because I love comedy.
It's funny. It's comedy. It's fun. It's comedy. What else is it? It'll make you laugh and make you cry. It gives you good education. A lot of pastors come and they say it's some education that they didn't get when they was in school.
Really?
Yeah, and they go back and they research, and then they come back and they can't say nothing to me because it's all well researched.
It's all well researched.
Yeah, from every religion to everywhere.
So you do your research before you even.
Exactly.
See, I like, that's what I like, because a lot of people just go out here and they just put on the play with no research or anything, and you sit there looking like, what? You know, and they can't tell you where they get it from. They just
not at all. No, and I wrote most of these plays, the Black History plays. Like we'll do something for Christmas, and my pastor come to me January 1st on watch night and say I need something for February. So I start researching, and I stay up all night, and I wrote most of these plays in like 2 weeks. Yeah,
you right? Oh. So that's a talent right there. I'm writing the TV series right now. January is when I started.
Well, we know some things take longer.
But on that note, we're gonna take a little quick break. When we get back, we're gonna get deeper into the big brunch. I want to know a little bit about how you chose your actors, how you chose your singers, because that's a process in itself. And so we want to get a little bit more deeper into that and understand the whole message behind the big brunch. And we'll be right back in 10 minutes right here on WCEG Wood, Hollywood of the South. See you in a minute.